Here we go, guys. A false start last time. The real deal. This train is coming up right now with FaZe on the CT side. This being the choice of ENCE. And they'll be filtering out with a bit of utility, a molly on Dotto, smoke, and a couple flashes. Smoke's already been tossed out as well onto Sandwich, trying to fake out a potential A hit, but they're actually going to be following in behind this, already spilling outside towards E-Box, where Rain is putting them down with a bit of pain. Twists on top of that, showing just why he's one of those most exciting prospects from NA. Missing a few shots there does afford them the luxury of going for a post plant, and Carrigan's trying to get up close with his USP. Player advantage now turns into a two-player advantage, and it's definitely faring in favor of FaZe. Dhat and Snappy, Dane and Paul, the last two members standing with a P250 in Dhat's hands, and he removes the head of Twist. Bomb planted for Pop Dog, but FaZe have cleaned it up. Feels like a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of situation. Snappy is going to go for that peak, though. Seems like they do want to end this round with some more bloodshed and carnage, and Snappy, well, he'll reap the rewards of their aggression. Dotto's also dipped in, and suddenly it's a 1-on-2. coldzera with it all to do by himself. The smoke will afford to save Blunt with 6 seconds.
With the expendable Mac-10 is able to try to keep getting information in space to see if he can build a safety net for a team to come in and plant the bomb. But unfortunately for him, he's been traded 2 for 1. That leaves Spinks alone. Yes, he does have the AK and the head armor and a decent amount of health and time on the clock. He'll be able to pivot over to enter, and he will very likely get this bomb plant. But this is now going to be a tough ask because these CTs can pick up some weapons if they so choose to explore that outer yard, and they can rotate together in a 2v1 and actually have a chance to reel this one back in despite ENCE's advantages coming into the round firepower.
Got a bit nervous there, though, because FaZe did peek out one by one as opposed to clumping together, as you said, and picking up their weapons. Maybe a little bit cognizant of the lack of kit, and now ENCE have the opportunity with Spinks to rummage together a rotation and take another avenue to defend the site. He's actually just stuck on the site itself, up close. This is where the glow should shine, but a lot of time has already ticked away. They need to get on the site, and in doing so, in amongst all this chaos, maybe Spinks can clutch it. There's the first spray down, needs to get the second. The full diffuse is coming through, runs out of ammunition, switches to the block. He's missing everything. Pull the knife out, man. Spinks, not like this. The full diffuse underneath his nose. They spill out onto the site once again. This could be a reoccurring theme. This is where we were talking about maybe that lack of strategy playbook. Snappy straight through towards Ivy. As the two T's, aggression do connect and fork in the road towards the site. Snappy goes in for another one, suddenly down to a 1-on-2. And hot off the back of FaZe, finally getting a bit of consistency and getting consecutive rounds. They've been put right into a 1-on-2 situation. coldzera's already been in one of these under very different circumstances, though. May get the drop and does get the drop on Snappy, but the last player of Alu is completely unknown. He has the bomb and gets the drop on coldzera.
And Carrigan's not too far off from rotating.
He's not. Twist can put a bullet down range. That is huge. And look where the bomb is spilled down. One of the two of them has to go back out into the open. Go up the ladders again. And coldzera, he's striking in with more. 23 seconds on the clock. And I don't know if Dotto realizes just how grim this situation is. He's being flanked as well.
Sure, but the other side of the coin, Vince, is now that FaZe won a clean round, they have the money to have utility to slow down fast pushes with the smokes and incendiaries, which is forcing us to play a little bit more careful. But they are still trying to explode in this inner yard, and they're actually making some progress. And now Dhat is on pretty big flank in the back halls. This could get dangerous.
That's a dirty little off angle with the smoke as well, and Dhat is flanking Brokey, who's finally got an open, takes him down. It looked like Dhat was about to rip this round open and close it off the FaZe, but instead, FaZe stand tall, and it's that man Carrigan again. No chance at a fake. They're down to 3 smokes. One of it's just been dispersed to make that 2. Allowing them safe passage, potentially outside of Pop Dog, but FaZe are doing such a good job of actually falling back and using their superior weapons at range. Rain already tapping off the head of Spinks and be turning his attention towards E-Box, where he sees players pushing through, but Dhat running interference, being the chaos creator, pushing straight through onto Ivy, and now Dotto's got him with 2 more frags. Rain needs to hold the line, 7 seconds left for the Norwegian, and he will fall on his sword.
FaZe are doing the best they can with what they have as far as positioning goes.
Flash is good enough to force Brokey away and claim the kill. They reap the rewards onto coldzera. Brokey now, different angle. Keeping it mixed up as Alu chips in with his AWP, and with so much on the line, Brokey drops down from oil, not the ideal positioning. He needs help, but he's being effectively isolated from mollies and smokes that are tossed onto connector. You can see that Twist is still a bit cognizant and worried about a potential flank from Ivy. He has no idea as to what's coming up right now.
No, that's very true. ENCE has already exploited that a couple of rounds in a row.
Karrigan, though, bit of a different angle. The back train, Rain and Twists have both put down frags. And with 23 seconds, now the pressure is swarming. They need some big picks, and Alu's going to come in with one. Pop Dog is held onto. Position has been given away to his adversaries, and they will pray down and chomp in with the round. It's FaZe's turn to squeak out a round that probably should have never been.
Allowing Karrigan to, again, hold this aggressive angle and slow down that position. In the meantime, Twist has also found a pick towards Olaf. So FaZe are, again, playing that very constricting forward angle style of defense. Oh my, it just gets worse with that. And oh, he can't even be traded by Dono. That is pivotal for FaZe that Cold's done that.
Great news across the board on the CTs. Diha has to try and dig them out this ditch, but Karrigan just shovels a couple more loads. And now ENCE, well, they're down to Alu 1-on-4, 1-on-5, pardon me.
Yeah.
coldzera is still very much alive and kicking.
Loads of what was he shoveling on them, Vince? I have to know.
Soil. And so he has to be cognizant. He has to do his due diligence before he flicks in for another one. And Snappy, his next victim. He is a predator stalking this round. 30 seconds to play with, flash up and over, and a low Spinks has to try and somehow carve a path through the end of this round. Spinks now coming in, 17 HP left, and he goes down as he is the puppet master right now, and he's pulling all the strings, and he's also pulling out a great performance for himself, by the way. Leading by example. Spinks, excellent headshot onto coldzera, gives them a chance into the round. They still have control over the bomb, though, FaZe, and they're looking to try and spill out onto A.
Yeah, it seems like that is the final destination here as Twist is getting backstabbed, though, but he flicks the 180 for a dink onto D-How, forcing him into the back calls. Twist trades up to the USP, and now they start spilling out onto the site. Snappy being challenged over here in the back. Twist will finish him off. Karrigan finds D-How, and now it's all on Spinks.
Already one kill to his name, and he's put a second in as well. Both players are very low. Brokey's on 1 HP and Twist's on 59. Now, ammunition may start to be a bit of a problem. Only 14 bullets left, putting them down and nearly flicks to the head of Twists.
But I just imagine, yeah, anything that involves human contact with gasoline is probably bad, though. So.
Yes. Don't advise it, definitely. Definitely don't. Ooh, those grenades, though, are looking good. And ENCE, out of the back of a buy with plenty of orgs and an AWP, have sustained one casualty in the form of Spink, smoke, mollies, flashes, everything being tossed onto A side as this war ensues. ENCE fighting down. They know the importance to try and remedy the situation. The spiraling downward trend has continued, and it's the Canadian that tries to just twist the knife in their back with his AK, down to 5 bullets, but coldzera steps up alongside Twists. And this has been a far cry from their performances against the likes of Vitality. It's been a bit of a dud so far, I think it's safe to say. Twist, though, is just going to put this off as fast as possible. Administer the mercy across to ENCE, who are floating away into the nether. It's all on Dotto with a scout in hand, and as much as he's doing damage and landing some frags, it feels like just a drop in the bucket, and they will be doused down fully. FaZe consistently have been the better team, and they convert 16-4. We're headed to a break after we'll be breaking this one down. Yeah, and I think those first maps are the kind of situations where you'll lean a little bit more heavily on the veterans. You know, you'll lean on Alu, you'll lean on his leadership, you'll lean on his experience to come through and shine. He's also a player that, of course, on Inferno has had some crazy performances in the back in many different teams. But we're ready, Dus. We're on Inferno, FaZe starting off on the T side, and hopefully ENCE on the CT side can actually put some rounds together.
That would be ideal for themselves and their fans, Vince. I would agree.
Gonna be some aggression though. FaZe charging straight up banana. HE tossed down. Does it a little bit of damage, actually a lot more than a little bit, nearly 100 damage just by itself. Softens up so many of these Ts, and now they can be pivoted into. Spinks posted the back of the site, already with one, and putting that aim to use for 2. Runs out of ammunition, should be going down, but Snappy has his back covered, and the damage has been done.
Tossed out to give some banana control over to the ENCE side. They're also getting aggressive in the apartment, so they're getting a lot of map right now.
Yeah, tons of information. Hear the footsteps just below them, but Alu peeks out, gets Tag down to 50. They've already taken down Spinks.
Oh
Add
my.
Snappy into the mix, and the B site's fallen. The only reprieve that ENCE have is the bomb's been dropped down towards the T side of the steps. They need to go get that.
They're never really going to know for sure where this bomb is headed. Even FaZe is still kind of figuring out exactly where they want to commit it. So this is going to slide out, spots the closet player, gets that kill. D-How able to find his man. But now FaZe know where they can bring this bomb and just work together. They know that there was at most one at A. They find it. Bomb will go down. And so FaZe is going to give us a very kind of deja vu feeling to how Train played out with kind of that 1-1 scramble at the start.
It's not ideal. It's far from ideal, to be honest. For Masses, MP9 also tossed in the mix with no utility really to speak of, and no kits either. Twist with the FAMAS just runs straight out and peels back 2 heads. And it's a third on top of it, and the blink of an eye, the snap of the fingers. Twist has taken the site, and ENCE are forced to save again. Additionally, Twist has put down Dotto over on the A side, so even though they get that pick, it's very short-lived.
And that's deep in A territory is the other thing. So now ENCE have no clue what's going on over at middle. They're trying to kind of keep an eye on it with Alu's AWP. And Spinks has that boosted position and does find his man before going down, but now they know where he is. They have him isolated. A great flash comes in, but Rain through it anyway finds Spinks.
It's not... Well... I was going to say, last line of defense, but he has now been taken down as Rain puts the sledgehammer to use. Host plant comes into effect. Alu hasn't really been given any chances in this round, but they're still up close. And with their economy, with the situation as grim as it currently stands, they may feel compelled to try and go in. Desperation may be creeping in for the Finns and the pole. As Alu is now all alone. Last man standing, and coldzera wide swings him 6-1.
And it's to have to hold their ground on both ends, and it gives Kerrigan a chance in the 1v1.
The timing may work against him because Spinks took so long. Kerrigan started to doubt himself. Another smoke has now been tossed in, but Twist position is so powerful, and he finishes off what Rain started down middle in that opening trade. There are still 2 players on the A side, including D-Ha, who's just hit a vein of form. But he's going to be called upon multiple more times, and Kerrigan is actually wrapping around the back of B in the amongst all of this action and chaos, and maybe try and deal with any rotational player. In doing so, it allows the Sanctuary of FaZe to rotate the bomb all the way across to B, and Snappy only has a UMP to his side. He has to try and hold this all alone. 13 seconds to play with, though. If he can pull out the rabbit out of the hat and just spray down a couple players, it could be good enough as he's looking to go for that wide swing. 5 seconds to play with, but Brokey is checking his angles, and even though D-Ha has splatted Brokey afterwards, the bomb gets planted down, and a 3-on-2 comes up with Otto on exceptionally low HP. Surely ENCE are about to succumb again, and there's a flank player coming around the back as well, by the way. coldzera is making moves all the way around CT side. They need kills right now. If ENCE are going to have any chance of clutching this, D-Ha or Dotto have got to go massive. They're missing too many bullets, and they're both going to get costed as a result down.
For FaZe and ENCE staying at 2 because their economy is absolutely in tatters, and Brokey's already taken 1 op off the board. Snappy tucked into the corner at the sandbags, trying to hold his ground. He's good for 1, but that's going to be all, and that's not good enough as FaZe are just tearing ENCE apart all across the map, Vince.
It feels like ENCE are out of ideas. Like, this just seems like a team that has run out of steam. They can't keep the pace with FaZe. They're just being, as you said, outmaneuvered at every single turn, and Kerrigan straight up gets the entry, instantly retorted on, but that's still going to favor FaZe.
Yeah, absolutely. There is some banana control there here from ENCE, as we do see Spinks getting very aggressive with the MP9, so that could be a huge factor in their favor. He does take Brokey down. Twist actually only good for 1 this time around, which has been a rarity. And so hold the phone. There is a chance for ENCE in this final round of the half, though. Cold has to find 1. 1v2. Can't get past the second. So ENCE, before the round half fades, they will find 1 more, but still well behind. We'll see if they can keep clawing back after a short break.
ENCE have got to have a flawless comeback if they want any hope of pulling this one off, and it is going to be pushing straight towards the A site. Brokey is waiting. Nades are put down with a ton of bullets behind them, and now Snappy, although he can get 1, taking some liberties. Hopefully doesn't get into complacency, but Rain shows it's completely worth the pickup as he goes farming for frags with the Nova. Finally is silenced. The damage has been inflicted, although ENCE did bounce back with another kill on coldzera, and Brokey's been tagged down. This puts a bit more of the emphasis on Carrigan's M4, but if we've seen anything so far today, it's that he's up to the task and he passes it again with flying colors. 12 match points. They want to put this one down real quick. To be devil's advocate, though, if they do concede this, they've put a lot of money into the round, so maybe there's a way back forward. But of course, Brokey shows that the triple op setup can be very much a success as he picks up the first play. It's going to be D-Hat. Lack of utility as they look to try and push onto the site, and Dotto's been finished off next, and Brokey goes in again. The House of Cards is coming down, trying to get the no-scope at the end, being cheeky, but Alu is being overwhelmed. There's players behind him, in front of him, and at least he gets a kill. He's about to get fragged by Carrigan, or perhaps not. Alu's still in with a chance in this round. He's being pushed down from another player down towards middle who may get the drop on him. And there is coldzera. That's going to be all she wrote. 16-3, the easiest of 2-0s. And we'll be back after just a short break.
Hollywood person.